you're so lucky, like, you get all the boys, like, all the boys like you. And I'm like, where? I
say this so often, but I think it's pretty rare for pretty girls to be approached in public. And personally, I think it's because there's an overall full package that comes with being a pretty girl. And a lot of guys that aren't really up at that level don't really know how to handle that. But the best thing about this is the right guy will approach you, and it'll usually be a guy that meets your standards and is up at your level in terms of success, ambition, character, goals, all of that, and will overall be a better match for you than the dusties that are walking around. I already know I'm gonna get questions. My lip gloss is Pretty Girls Beauty. It's linked in the TikTok shop. I love you guys. Stay pretty.
Men on here are asking, do we really think that y'all are that ugly? Well, yes. Y'all are broke. Y'all are mean. Y'all don't dress. Those of you that do dress, you dress for the eyes of other men. And then on top of that, y'all are just disrespectful. Why would I think you're cute? And then there's a lot of short ones out there. I'm 5'8". Anyways, that's just a personal hurdle. But yeah, y'all suck.
I think what continues to confuse me about the women speaking is some of these women, and you might see them in the compilation, they speak as if they're part of the group of like beautiful women. And I'm not going to say that they aren't. I'm just saying, how are we evaluating beauty? How are you guys getting put in the conversation? Like, who called you that? Like, was there a consensus? I'm curious.
Did you know the most attractive women are usually the most insecure? It sounds illogical, but it's true. Think about this. If she spent a ton of time on her hair and makeup, if she pays a lot of money to get her hair done, if she's wearing a super expensive outfit, if she's putting in a ton of effort, it's because she's looking for validation.
Some women don't get asked out. Even when they're pretty and smart and have their whole life together. And a lot of people don't know this, but it has nothing to do with your value. Sometimes high value women, because that's what we are, get approached the least. And let me tell you why. First, you give off, I'm good energy. You walk like you handle your own life. Men see that and think, well, she don't need me. Second, men are scared of rejection, like terrified. So if you look too put together, they assume you already got options, even when you don't. Third, you might look unapproachable without meaning to. Not in a rude way, just your face, your pace, your focus. Men only approach women who look relaxed and open. Fourth, a lot of men think you're already taken. Pretty women hear this all the time. I thought you had a man. So then they don't even try. And fifth, you may not be in spaces that make conversation easy. If your life is work, home, errands, and then work again, you won't cross paths with men who naturally start talking to you. But here's the truth. You can be beautiful, healed, kind, funny, and high value and still not get approached. It's not you. It's the perception of you. Men approach women who feel safe and easy to talk to. Not always the best women. So don't overthink it. You're not the problem. Your energy is just strong. The right man won't be scared of that.
Ladies, do you ever notice that men don't approach you when you're all dialed up? Your hair's done, your makeup's done, you're looking real sorts of cute. There's a reason behind that. Being authentic is attractive. Men are drawn to how women look naturally over having their hair done and their makeup done. It feels more genuine and you look more approachable. Your confidence shines through because it feels like you are confident in who you are. Your presence feels magnetic. You look less intimidating. You look more approachable. Sometimes when your hair is all done up, your makeup's perfect, not a piece of hair is out of place, men feel intimidated. Being casual makes it easier to start a conversation. Being relaxed in your natural state is an attractive thing. Men may feel like they're meeting the real you, everyday authentic you. There is also a subconscious attraction. People are wired to notice your eyes, your tone of voice, the way that you hold your body over the way that you've styled your hair. And a lot of it is about timing and not the way that you did your hair. Men approach when it feels right, when the timing is right. Not if you have your fake eyelashes on, your extensions, your nails are all done, you look perfect. And don't take this video the wrong way. There's literally nothing wrong with getting done up, nothing wrong with leggings and an oversized sweatshirt with your hair in a baseball cap. There's nothing wrong with it, so don't take it like that. I want to know, do men prefer natural beauty or is it just confidence?
If you're a girl and you never get approached in public, let's talk about it, because you probably think it means something's wrong with you, but honestly, it's usually the opposite. By the way, if you love stuff like this, make sure you grab the freebie that's in my bio. There are two main reasons this happens. Number one, you're probably more attractive than you realize, and I don't just mean looks, I mean energy too. The way you carry yourself, the way you move, the confidence you give off. Most guys see that and instantly assume you're taken or you're out of their league. Number two, men today are terrified of public rejection, like genuinely terrified. The idea of walking up to a woman and getting shut down in front of people, or worse, ending in someone's group chat, is their actual nightmare. So what do? They just don't try. I've heard so many guys say, I saw this gorgeous girl today, but honestly, she's probably out of my league and she most likely has a boyfriend. And boom, they talk themselves out of it. So if you're that girl wondering why no one approaches you, it's not because you're invisible, it's because you give off she's good without me energy. You probably look focused and confident and in your lane, and that can feel intimidating. The truth is, the higher your energy and standards get, the fewer random approaches you'll get, because the men with the confidence and maturity to approach you, they're rare. So don't take it personally, just take it as proof. You're not unapproachable, you're just not easily approachable, and that is a compliment.
And I guess my point of contention would be the group chat. Well, they're so afraid of getting put in a group chat. Now, why in the world would they be in a group chat? If they come up to you and they say, hey, are you available? I'd like to get to know you. And then you put them in the group chat. Why would you be doing that? You put them on TikTok? What would you be doing that for? Oh, look what did it. Look at this. So embarrassing him. They don't want to be embarrassed. And instead of saying, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do that. They're coming over here. They're trying. Maybe we shouldn't be losers and try to be disrespectful and rude. But that's not going to be the conclusion that modern women come to.
You know, one of the craziest things I've heard is that a lot of attractive women hardly get approached. And I'm going to be the first person to say that that is absolutely true. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people say to me, like, I know they be on you. No, they don't. I know you got a lot of men. No, they don't. No, they don't. I hardly get approached. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And it's not that I care, because I don't date anyway, but I really think that a lot of men have given up on loving women wholeheartedly and doing the whole seeking and getting to know you and pursuing you and stuff. I really feel like a lot of them have given up on that because they loved or poured love into the wrong woman, right? And that could be exhausting, I'm pretty sure. However, now they're looking for, instead of love, relief. And we all know how they like to be relieved. So if a woman who looks like it's not going to be easy for you to get what you're looking for out of her, he's passing her up. Like, because I want to, like, men aren't stupid. Don't ever believe that men are stupid. They're logical thinkers. They think more with logic than anything. And they're very smart. So they already can plan it out in their head of what's going to happen before it happens. They already know how they want it to go before it goes. So if he sees in that woman that, nah, she's going to give me a challenge and I'm going to have to actually get to know this woman, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to give love no more, then he's passing her up. But the one whom, is dressing provocatively, she doesn't have much self-respect, and she's all out there with it, that's the one he's going to shower with compliments. That's the one he's going to go seek. That's the one he's going to go try to run game on, and he know he's going to get it. Like, he know he's going to get it because of who she portrays herself to be. I mean, like, I could be wrong, but I don't know. Y'all can let me know what y'all think.
Whenever I'm out in public, I always sit around and think, wow, there's just so many insanely, stunningly, intensely beautiful women out there. Meanwhile, the average man looks like a melted ice cream cone.
And this is what I mean. Like, who's saying who is attractive and who's not? You know what I mean? Like this, I don't understand this. Like, we have a lot of these modern women out here talking reckless, thinking that they're the ones that are actually in the group of attractive women. And I don't get that.
I need you to stop what you're doing to help me out. Please be so for real with me. Really. Tell me why I don't get approached by guys when I go out. What is it? I've been single for 2 years. Please.
Attractive people aren't living the life that everybody thinks that they are. That's all over my FYP right now. I know that says more about me than it says about everyone else. I want to know if other people are living the same life. I had a lot of things happen to me recently that have never happened before. But by far the strangest interaction, in my opinion, I was out for a drink when I saw this man that I perceived to be so attractive. He was also tall, 6'5" at minimum. Easily the most attractive person there. I gathered that from the way that the other girls at the bar were looking at him. We all wanted him to approach us. I call it summoning a man and by looking at him in his eyes. He's looking at you like you just keep making eye contact here and there to let him know that you're approachable. I'm doing it because I want him to approach me. I'm not gonna approach him, but I definitely want him to approach me. We're doing this back and forth for a hot minute, so I'm just like, the guy has a girlfriend, whatever. I didn't care. It is what it is. Well, he starts walking over to me. And of course, I'm like, finally. Well, he starts walking over to me. And of course, I'm like, finally. Walks right past me and talks to the girl that's sitting next to me. I don't know her. There's just a girl sitting right next to me. I'm shocked. I'm like, what just happened? Homegirl pulled something that I couldn't. What a baller. Because of my position, I'm able to see them talking. And that man is still staring at me in my eyes while he is talking to her. Like, she is talking and he's looking at me in my eyes. I was like, this is strange. Maybe he was collecting numbers. I don't know. He was talking to somebody else at that point. I didn't care. I go out in hopes to meet someone. I don't go out and do anything wild, but I'll go out for a drink in hopes to meet someone. That night, nobody approached me. Nobody talked to me. There was a group of girls that told me that they liked my outfit and my hair. Outside of that, I didn't have any connections, any interactions with anybody, and I was bummed. And I went home. A couple weekends later, I run into him at the same spot. He leans on the bar, and because I'm an idiot sometimes, I say something to him. I had to say something to him. All the validation. Yeah, I was still a little bit bothered. I felt like I was played. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like I had just gotten played, and I was played good. He was not done playing me. Leans on the bar next to me. Our arms are touching. That's how close he is. Close enough that when he spoke, I could feel the heat of his breath. Of course, I spoke first. I said, I saw you here not too long ago. You kept looking at me. I really thought that you were going to approach me, but you didn't. You walked past me and you talked to the girl that was next to me. While talking to her, you kept staring at me like you were making strong eye contact while you were talking with her. He laughs and he says, oh, you caught that, huh? Because I'm an idiot sometimes. I said, yeah, I was bummed. I really thought you were going to come and talk to me and then you didn't. So yeah, I noticed. But what this man said to me changed my brain chemistry. He said, yeah, I was going to, but you were getting too much attention. I was literally speechless. To reiterate some things, this man is the most attractive man in the room, obnoxiously tall. He didn't want to approach the woman in the room that he perceived was getting the most attention. When I walk into a room and I see somebody that is like captivating a room, or like I'm drawn to that, like I want that. Maybe I'm masculine. I have never walked into a room, saw a man that I wanted, no matter how much attention he was getting, I tried not to summon him. I have never walked into a room and saw someone I wanted and just was like, he's getting too much attention, I'm just gonna back down. I was not getting approached at all that night, and that's why I went home. Either he was lying or perceived that there were other people in the room that also wanted to approach me. Regardless, that really changed the way that I think of not getting approached. The kind of man that I would have gone for, that I would have wanted to approach me, he didn't, because of something I had no control over. That is so insanely discouraging. I guess it does bring some kind of peace of mind that maybe you aren't doing anything wrong.
Well, unfortunately, this is how chat operates. Maybe you're not familiar with it, but he's back at that same place because that's one of his spots that he goes to catch something. He caught something that night. He said, I'm going to circle back to her later. She's for another day. And surprise, surprise, you were for another day. So maybe there's that.
I was debating in my head earlier today about that whole adage of like people who don't get approached at all are actually really attractive to people, and people just don't want to approach them. And I was like, that doesn't even make any sense, right? And I literally was just thinking this about like 30-40 minutes ago. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I think if people do not like approach you, I just think you're just unattractive. And that's just what's been happening to me. Like, nobody approaches me except for scammers on TikTok. Other than that, nobody approaches me ever. And I'm walking down 17th Street off Union Square, and I'm coming back to my car, and I guess there was construction. I didn't know. I saw the sidewalk was blocked up, so I was walking around, and the guy was like, no, miss, you can't walk down there or whatever. I was like, oh no, my car's down here. And he's like, no, I don't want you to get hurt. There's construction here. You're too beautiful for that, blah, 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 whatever have you. I was like, oh, thank you, whatever, and I kept going. And what I have figured out is that when I'm talking to people out here, they do mention that I'm pretty or stuff like that. And it's not like that I'm looking for compliments or whatever. It's just that I'm just so used to people not really like complimenting me or coming up to me. So I just don't think that I'm attractive like that. I don't think I'm like the ugliest thing in the world. I'm a 4 on a good day. Okay, like today I'm a good 4. I'm a good 4. But it's just kind of weird. Like lately, it's just like when I've been in like group settings or like when I'm talking with somebody one-on-one, they mention my looks, but I rarely ever get any guy come up to me. Ever. Ever. And it's been like 6 years of this going on, but I guess it might be true. So if you're having any troubles with feeling like desirable and things like that, you feel like people aren't coming up to you, maybe it should just, become socially norm now to like be a little bit more reserved, not really like catcall or approach women and tell them that they're attractive and things like that, especially with everything that's going on. So don't think that you're ugly. You're just beautiful, and people would like to tell you if they were on like one-on-one. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day. Talk to you later.
To me, it looks like they know that you're pretty, and so that's why when they opened up conversation, then they mentioned that to you, right? Because now they've got you open, right? But before that, they're not 100% sure, because based off of this video, based on the way that you look, you don't look like a person that's approachable. You don't really look like a person that's open. And maybe that's shyness, or I kind of keep to myself. It's not that it's malicious. It's just, I don't talk to a lot of people, right? So that's what that might look like. Somebody in the comments said, if we make an eye connection and you look approachable, I'm usually going to speak or introduce myself just in case we cross paths again. Okay. Another person said, I saw you in Queens. Oh, I guess he saw her in real life. He said, I saw you in Queens. I said hi, and you passed me like a bus. Her response was, I'm super focused on my destination when I'm out. Well, there you go. There you go. That's what I was just saying. You probably, don't look like you want anybody talking to you. But when that person does get the opportunity to talk to you, then they say, oh, you're very pretty. They try to compliment you, looking for something back. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. And then they can have a conversation and maybe get your number, maybe take you out sometime.
Got this friend, she's stunning, but she never, ever gets approached. In the group, she's the last one that people will talk to. It's like so nice and friendly, and she just smiles at everyone. Doesn't get any attention really from men or women. These beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, spectacular women don't get approached. So like pretty privilege, like, is a real thing. People aren't approaching them. Like on social media, you'll go on a girl that, like an average looking girl, and she's just getting bare attention. Men, women, kids, dogs, thousands of followers. And then you'll come across someone that's genuinely like, I would die to look like her. The engagement in general is just so low. Why is that? I don't get it. Are people just not brave enough to approach beautiful people?
So I hung out with one of my homegirls that I haven't seen in a long time, and we were catching up. And like, if I say this, you know, I kind of know what kind of I'll get, but this is the reason for the conversation. She's very pretty. And when I mean very pretty, like, she's very, very pretty. And of course, every time I tell her she's pretty, she tells me, oh no, you're so pretty too. I know, but it's not the same, right? She's like, just like attractive, like to boys, to girls, like she's just, and then like her whole thing, like, I don't know, right? So we go out and all these guys keep trying to talk to her, like to the point where men were arguing about like her attention and stuff. It was just like, you know, like a thing that I'm used to, because I'm used to going out and not getting hit on, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying this to get like any type of sympathy about it. It's a whole nother conversation, right? So I said to my mom, I tell her, like, people, you know, don't hit on me when I go out. She's like, it's because you kind of give off an air that you don't want to be bothered, and like, or that you have a man. I'm like, okay, I can understand that. But the other response, like my friend's response and responses I get from other people are, oh, it's just about your confidence. Like almost anybody, if I'm usually in a group of two, you know, I mean, whatever. I'm usually a pair of two. And whomever else I'm with always gets hit on. You know what I mean? I hang with pretty girls, and I know I'm a pretty girl. But that saying I'm not confident thing is like such a funny way to put it, because like, I've always been this size. Like, I go like between 10 and 15 pounds of this for the last like 15 years of my life. I've always wore what I wanted to wear with my head held high. I've never contemplated like surgery or anything. I don't sit in self-loathe in like who I am and how I am. I am very open and expressive and confident in my life. I sing I sing like confidently. I had a lingerie show where I was online in my draw. Like, I speak, hello, how you, like, I don't go out, and I do have social anxiety, and it really increased in the last like 5 years. So I would even bend more to that. But to tell the confident girl who could tell you as beautiful as I believe you are all night because of how confident I am with myself, it never takes away from me. I never ever felt no way about it. And the only time I've ever felt a way about a friend getting more attention to me, I spoke about it and we resolved it. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, these are feelings of possible jealousy, and I have never experienced this before, so can we just like kind of just like let me get it out? And we really got back to a better place. You know what I mean? Because it was starting to be like a thing. And not even from her, it was from the men who were hitting on her. They're like, oh, look at you, you know, lonely. I'm confident. And like, too many people say something, you have to start internalizing. But also, too many people saying it, it's just like, it's still because she's not the only person that said it, and she's not the only person who's close to me that has said it. And I'm looking at them who I know has confident issues, and they're talking to me about not, and I am. If I was any more confident, I would be an asshole for real. Like, I would be really, really full of myself. I just don't brag or boast. You know, I don't feed into like what y'all got going on. You know what I mean? Like, I am very like stick out like a sore thumb type girl. And I'm one of them girls that like, I don't care if the guys who just want you to have fun tonight like are on your ass. The last guy who tried to holler at me, I've been talking to him forever now. He real recognized real. You know what I mean?
And I think what people mean by confidence sometimes is you have your shoulders slumped. Like, you don't have your head up. You don't look like you want to be interacted with. I think maybe that's what they mean. But yeah, as I read people in the comments, they're saying, women are saying, I wish people would stop talking about the confidence thing. I have all the confidence in the world, and I'm still not being approached.
Why do pretty girls sometimes never get approached by guys?
Okay, I feel this. And you can take pretty out of the conversation. It's just some girls in general aren't as approachable. And I am one of those girls, okay? I don't think it's because I'm exceptionally pretty. I don't think it's anything other than the vibe I put out is that I'm not interested. And I'm not either. I'm such a nice person. I'm such a funny person. I will have a conversation with you at a bar, but it's gonna be friendly because I like to suss people out before I put out any type of flirty vibe. I also think I'm very confident in my personality. Like, my confidence stems from who I am, not the way I look. Like, guys will talk to me, but guys don't really flirt with me because I think they just know it's not going to be reciprocated. I just think I put out a very low tolerance for vibe. I'm down to be your friend, but if you're trying to get with me, it's just probably not going to happen. So why would they approach me?
Girl, be quiet. Nobody wants to hear this. This is not what men want to hear. This is not a flex. Stop talking.
Serious question here. Are there men out there who are genuinely really kind, like to do things for you, like to take care of you, without expecting things in return? And by expecting things in return, I don't mean like certain favors or like, I guess, expecting like kind of returns. I mean like expecting you not to complain about anything, not to get upset about things, or like
yeah, like not expecting you to act a certain way. Does that exist?
And that whole men don't approach women in public anymore, we're not buying that. We're not buying that. We're just not walking across the room to get rejected by a woman that's not worth getting rejected by.
This is a public service announcement for white men. It is okay to approach a Latina at the bar.
That part, yep.
It is okay to like a Latina. We are equals. We are pretty people. We are also equal to the blondes at the bar.
Even better.
Even better, maybe. I don't wanna. Perhaps.
Don't quote me on it, but
please, it is okay to approach a Latina at the bar. It is okay.
We will talk to you.
We will talk to you. It is okay. I promise. It is okay. Please approach us. We are all one. We are begging.
We're begging.
We're on our hands and knees. Please approach us.
I'm on my knees.
Like, what the...
When will men learn to take a hint? Last night I walked out of the bar and I was standing there by myself on the street waiting for my Uber. And these guys come up to me and they're like talking to me, trying really hard. I'm like, I have a boyfriend. Do I have a boyfriend? No. They were pretty chill. They walked away. New guy comes up. He's like, hey, what's your name? I'm like, Paige. He's like, when can I see you again? And I was like, I'm not real. That should have been enough of a hint that I didn't want to speak to you. He continues on. He's like, oh my God, me neither. I can tell you're not real. Like, you're beautiful. And I was like, thank you. He's like, can I get your number? I'm like, no, I have a boyfriend. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I love my boyfriend. And he was like, well, I could be your new boyfriend. And I was like, no, you can't. I love my boyfriend. And I kept going and he kept going. And I was like, when will you understand that if I'm telling you, first of all, if I tell you I'm not real, if I reject giving you my number, that means that I don't want to speak to you. Why is that so hard to understand? Like, when will it get through their heads? If I reject you once, walk away. It's so simple.
And it's going to be, why don't men approach? Why are men not talking to me? Why are men not coming up to me? Why can't I get a man to help me out? Why do men just stand around and just watch me struggle?
What is your definition of a high-value woman, then?
She's attractive and appealing. She has a comforting character. She's discerning and disciplined, liberating and loyal. She's enthusiastic and exuberant.
So none of that has to do with how much she makes, though.
Because your money matters not to us.
Yeah, I guess.
No, it doesn't. If so, then you should be able to show me women who make a lot of money who are below average looking with high-value men. They're not. Woman's currency is in her beauty, her womb, her cooperativeness, her submission. A man is in his resources, his ability to compete and produce.
Michelle Obama, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, these are all extremely...
Michelle Obama did not marry a bum. Michelle Obama did not marry a guy on the corner. Barack was in Columbia and Harvard, ma'am.
I understand that. I'm not saying like a bum, a homeless man. I'm saying someone that makes $31,000 to $70,000 a year.
You know about Barack Obama, and he was the president of the Law Review, and he had political aspirations. That's why she got with him, because that was a political marriage. You live in observable reality. It seems like you have an issue with money.
Personally, growing up with money, it can ruin people.
Here's what you can choose to do. Say, Mom and Dad, I don't want any inheritance, any insurance money. I want none of it. You can go through life like Gandhi if you choose to, because you're an adult. You can make those choices. But here's one thing I will almost guarantee you. Very few of the people who grew up in your neighborhood will follow you.
No, it's because, yeah, it is.
Is it just me, or has the rate at which guys approach girls plummeted? Actually, I feel like when I go to Nigeria this Christmas, I will really believe if it's like me. Maybe like I'm not just I think I am, you know what I'm saying? Or if the temperature has really changed and men don't approach women any longer. What's tea? What's going on? Did I miss something? But it's weird. Like, I saw the cutest guy today at a dispensary and his voice was deep. Like, tilted my waist and like, you know. Not even a glance. Not even like a side eye. Nothing. That hurt my feelings.
Men don't come up to you. Not even, nobody comes up to you in the club. Nobody comes up to you in the club. They be scary as fuck, and I don't understand why.
Well, honestly, if you really think about it, there are a lot of women who get approached by men and they deny them. They don't want to be with them. They're not even trying to give them a chance. Think about it. When a man comes up to you, what's the first thing that you're going to say? No, I'm not interested. I got a man, even though you lying. My name is Ashley, even though it ain't. Yeah, we can say that's a form of protection because you never know who's trying to get you out here. But at the same time, how else are you going to meet a good man? Just the ones that are on dating apps? And most women don't even like dating apps anyway. Every love story is not going to be a perfect scenario. There are going to be times where you're going to meet somebody at the gas station and that's your husband over there. Sometimes love is met at the weirdest places. Let's be real. Are you really trying to find a man at the club? How about starting at the gym? Or a better place where it's not somebody drinking or smoking. Someone that you can actually meet who is stable-minded.
Quavo, I know you're taking a shoot. Can I have a picture, please? After you finish? He said after he finished. Okay. You should be happy. Yeah, bless you too, but don't do that. Don't do that. Because of me, that's because of you, so don't do that. I mean, like, so what? You up there, so you should try to help somebody else. Don't do that.
I get where you're coming from. You felt disrespected, but he was looking for a certain thing, and the white woman was providing that. Right? She came over there. She was shaking a little bit. Well, she ain't have nothing back there. It don't matter. It don't matter. That's the energy that he was looking for. I'm looking to be entertained. You wanted a picture, which it's not a harmful thing. And I'm not saying that he's right. I'm just saying she came over there on the type of time that he wanted. Right? So, I mean, what do you want him to do?
Obviously, as a woman, would like the men to approach me, but nowadays it hasn't been happening. Feels like the roles have been switched. Men are expecting women to approach them and be the first one to make the move. I don't know what happened, to be honest, but I feel like it's the generation.
Does it kind of upset you how it is these days?
Yes, it upsets me very much. It makes dating very, very hard.
You would wish that guys would approach more.
I mean, the right guy. Obviously.
Why do you think that men aren't approaching women anymore?
I feel that it might be that we're tired of being rejected. We don't like the no, you can't have my number, or no, I won't go out for coffee, or no, I'm not looking for a relationship right now.
When's the last time you actually approached a woman?
Just the other day, I was in a supermarket and I approached a young lady. From what I understand, women do like guys that make them laugh. If you can get them to laugh, then you're almost sure to get them to conversate.
And women get rejected more when it comes to like a commitment.
Yeah.
So we just get rejected once you get to know us, which I think is way worse.
That's
way
worse. We just get rejected once we've poured our hearts and souls into them.
We
That's
crushed
all.
our hearts.
Oh, these poor guys. She said no and you just cold approached her.
I'm
As
so
a creep.
I do understand where these women are coming from, but I do think that them not having any personal experience with dating women kind of leads them to having this perspective. As somebody who dates both men and women, I do think I have like a slightly unique perspective because I can really see things from both sides. And I do agree that getting rejected for a commitment is just as bad as getting rejected on the front end, and in some cases could be even worse depending on how much time you invested in that person. And I have heard guys say that getting rejected for commitment is not really getting rejected because you're still getting something out of it. You're still getting their time, attention, possibly, etc. And so at least on some level, you know that you are desirable. And this conversation is so multi-layered because while I don't agree with that notion, I do understand where it's coming from when all you're getting is rejection. Because yes, getting rejected for a commitment definitely sucks. And meeting somebody who you're really into, you feel like it's going somewhere, you guys go go on a couple dates, you're very infatuated with them, you start to, fantasize about them. Like, I've done all of these things. And so I understand exactly how it feels to sort of like come all the way up here, you're getting your hopes up, and then they just like, it sucks, especially after you've invested a lot of time and effort and feelings, and then they just kind of make you feel so high and then just drop you down the line. But I do think that these women aren't giving enough credit to how soul crushing it can be to just get rejected over and over and over and over and over again, especially in situations where you just feel like no matter what you do, you cannot get your foot in the door. You go on dating apps, you match with somebody, you just start getting so excited. You really try to like keep the conversation rolling, but then you have the sort of knowledge that they are probably getting hit up by 100 other people at that moment. And so you have to sort of do a bunch of monkey tricks and compete with all these other people to get their attention. And then even if they give you a little bit of attention, you still have to sort of like mechanically say all the right things and put on a show to even get them to like want to go on a date with you in the first place. Then you go on the date. And I don't think that a lot of women give enough credit to how hard early dating phases is for people who date women, because a lot of women, and I have been guilty of this myself, especially younger women, like I say 20s and 30s, a lot of them do expect like big sparks on the first date. You could be like a cool person, and you might even be somebody that they are like aesthetically attracted to. You might, have a good time and vibe well, but a lot of women, like due to having so many options on dating apps, they want these like fireworks. I'm not saying this is always true. I'm just saying that this has been my like overwhelming experience, like as a woman who just turned 30, that has been my overwhelming experience trying to date women in my 20s. It can just be a very like soul crushing experience to feel like no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you try to gain like confidence and charisma and make yourself like the most attractive option when it comes to your dating pool, you're just being told over and over and over again that you are fundamentally unworthy of love, essentially. And I know that's not what these people are saying, and rejection is something that is going to happen to everyone, but I do personally think if women had to actually go out and cold approach men, like men that you're genuinely attracted to, not just like men that you're lukewarm about, you would quickly see how just soul crushing it can be to get rejected over and over and over and over and over, even on the front end. It's not something that is super easy to just kind of like brush past. And a lot of times with women who actually do end up pursuing a guy, they will try like once or twice and they will really like the guy, and then they try to pursue him because men have said, oh, we want more women to approach first. She will pursue one guy or two guys, it won't work, and she's like, that was such a soul crushing experience, I'm never doing that again. And it's like, what do you think that men have to do? Like, they literally have to do this every week or every month whenever they actually want to find somebody to date. And then the other time is when women actually start dating women after only dating men, and they're like, wow, I'm on these dating apps and I never match with women, or I'll match with women and then they don't respond, or oh my gosh, we went on one date and they expected, instant fireworks, and you just fundamentally feel not good enough over and over and over again. Truly, this isn't a competition, in my opinion, of like who has it worse, but I do think that these women are definitely underplaying like how soul crushing the rejection is, even when it's just on the front end, because in some ways it's like you're telling that person that they are not good enough to have any sort of romantic or interaction with you solely because of their face, solely because of the body that they were born in and their face, and like maybe a little bit of like charisma and social skills and stuff like that. It sucks, especially when you're somebody who might be more niche and you feel like you have to sort of fit into this archetype to even have options in dating. And I know that this applies to women too, but I do just think sometimes there might not be a recognition that most women, if they wanted to, could find a guy. Now, am I saying that it's going to be like a quality guy? Not really. Probably not. I mean, you don't really know. But women can find attention and affirmation that they are desirable on some level. Now, I do understand that that's kind of like the fast food of attention, because a lot of it's just going to be based off of like physicality or that type of stuff. But I don't necessarily think that over here is just so much better, where you are fundamentally told that you are just not desirable at all, and that nobody wants to sleep with you, nobody wants to date you, nobody wants to give you any sort of romantic or attention. You are just fundamentally unworthy in that regard. And so I think that these are just two similar feelings different contexts, and there should be like maybe more of an acknowledgement of that. But I respect these women's opinions. That's just my personal opinion on it. So let me know what you guys think. Bye.
Modern women continue to show us, and this is no different, that they have the inability to see anybody else's perspective. And it really is hilarious at this point how they'll talk about the things that they're going through. It's way worse. You see that same pattern when they get married, if they get married. It's always how they're doing so much more, why I left a good guy, I had a right to, he didn't love me like I wanted to be loved, like I should have been loved, and all that other nonsense. They don't care about breaking up homes, families. Their happiness and what they want is at the forefront.
Men don't come up to you, not even. Nobody comes up to you in the club. Nobody comes up to you in the club. They be scary as and I don't understand why.
What was y'all saying is y'all type?
If you can find a black man that likes black women, let me know.
Wait, stand right here. Stand right here.
Okay, go find one. Go find one.
I found one.
Not
He right
you.
here.
Not that one.
Of course. So this is what modern women are talking about. Oh, well, we don't have any black. Where are the black men? Black men say, hey, what about me? No, not you. Of course not. Of course not. Well, what do we expect?
Why do men in the gym feel like they can't approach women in the gym? Like, what's going on? I heard some gym bros saying it's automatic law that you should not approach a female in the gym. I don't want nobody who don't go to the gym. So that's why we really got to address this issue, because if you're not a creep or you got good intentions, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to approach a female at the gym. Yeah, I have my moments when I'm in my zone, but like if you see me on a break and you want to tell me I look good or that you see them gains, like do that. Worst case scenario is I say hell no, and then we end up gym bro, gym sis for life. You know what I'm saying? I think nowadays men are too fragile, too afraid of rejection. Approach the gym girlies. Approach the gym girlies. If you're not a creep, it's okay to approach us, okay?
An old man literally just stopped me and said, I don't mean to be rude, but you are absolutely gorgeous. And I looked at him and I was like, and I just turned around and like, and then I'm thinking like, is this just me deeping it too much? Like, is he actually just like trying to be nice? And then I'm thinking, wait, no, that's me, my people-pleasing brain switching on and trying to like excuse the fact that he just outwardly said that I'm absolutely gorgeous, which is just like so unnecessary. Is that weird? Or am I just really deeping this now? I just find that so weird. Don't say that. That's just weird. Ew.
Are you okay or are you slow? Is this a joke? Is this a skit? Is this satire? It's got to be comedy. Is anything else? An idiot and a loser. Why would you be talking like this? Why would you say that? If the man said, hey, I just have to say that you're absolutely good. Oh, thank you. Do y'all have to be taught simple and basic etiquette now? The same communication skills that y'all be saying that men need to have? I guess y'all are skipping them altogether too.
It's very hard for people. Half of us have social anxiety. Like niggas just like scared to talk to each other. Yeah. So it's like I've seen this happen multiple times. Dudes have seen me out. You know me kind of like by association, but instead of like approaching me in public, you want to slide in my DMs when you could have just talked to me when you saw me.
He couldn't. Men are very calculated. Like, you get what I'm saying? So if they have a history of approaching women in a respectful manner and they just walking fast, like you were saying earlier, or they so, I'm by myself in the street, I have to have this defense mechanism up. We're calculated. You get what I'm saying? So on social media, it's easier because you ain't got to worry about having that guard up because you're not in the street. You ain't got to worry about him being a predator.
Like in other instances where it could be easy for men to approach women, they don't do it. Like if you're at a bar, a club, a restaurant, men will sit there. I've seen it happen multiple times. Dudes just sitting there staring at a girl. I'm like, just go to her. Like, why are you?
It's easy for you as a woman to say, just go talk to her.
Whereas for men are getting so few matches. I think that there was a statistic that said for every 200 swipes, there's one match or there's one message. And then out of that, for it to actually go into an actual date. And I think people stay on the apps and then they don't actually meet in person. And then I also think that because of the dating apps, a lot of men and a lot of women, it's not that they're getting lazy. It's just that when they're meeting people in person, they're not approaching them. Like, men are not approaching women in person. There are a few men that are approaching women in person, but those are the guys that are the charismatic guys that they're approaching all of the women in person. But the nice, good guys, a lot of them are saying like, oh my gosh, I don't want to, upset her, or I don't want to, get rejected. So when back in the day, that was the only.
I'm dating a guy who's like a securely attached green flag. And I've had several instances where I'm like, I'm the red flag. It's me. The problem here is me.
If a bunch of men approach you in public, you need to stop taking that as a compliment. That's actually an insult. Unless they're a bunch of sharks approaching you, that should be taken as an insult. If it's a bunch of Nemos and Lil Nemos and regular men and Dusties approaching you, they thought that you were so unintimidating that it was okay for them to come up to you, waste your time, and ask you for your number because they just knew you were going to give it to them, because they just knew you were in their league. Only the 1%, the top percent of men should be approaching you. Like, it's quality over quantity. I really hate when girls be like, I get niggas. That's the easiest thing to get. Do you get quality? This is not for everyone either. This is for a certain target audience. The girls that get it, and the girls that don't. This is about using your beauty and investing even your last dollar into your appearance, to use your beauty to get a softer, easier life. It's about working smarter, not harder. Unfortunately, in today's society, but it's the hard reality, so save your comments. A woman's beauty will get her much farther than any degree will, unfortunately. You guys need to stop letting these thirsty men boost your head up, get you comfortable, and hold you back from being the baddest bitch that you can be. There's always room for improvement. So if a lot of men are approaching you, that's not a compliment. Unless he's the big dog, top shark, you need to go look in the mirror and figure out what you need to do to become a better. And what could these little Nemos do for you anyway besides tell you good morning? Like, and give you a wet ass and send you home in an Uber. Uber X. Not even a black truck.
It's so easy to say the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. Well, the girls that are not going to get it are the girls with common sense. So naturally, you don't want to hear any common sense. So you're going to say, well, you don't get it. Of course I don't, because I know how to think critically.
Hey, excuse me. You guys speak English?
Yeah.
I noticed you over there. You look nice. Your friend, she's cute.
Thanks.
You interested? I'm not in Quebec. I'm just trying to meet people.
No, we're good.
You sure? No, I was talking to her, not you.
We're good.
Oh, you're the cockblock friend?
Yeah.
You're that friend. You're that friend.
Right here.
That comes in the middle, huh?
Yeah.
That's no cool.
She
No
knows
good.
what I'm thinking. I was gonna say.
No good. You're on the wrong people.
Why are you trying to spit game and you throwing shade? That made no sense.
How am I trying to spit game? No, I just don't like friends like that come in the middle, that's all.
But she said no.
Yeah, I respect that. I'm not
Okay, so
continuing
walk away.
talking.
Why are you still here?
I'm not continuing talking to her.
Okay. All right, so walk away. All right, bye.
Why are you getting so offended?
Because you're bothering us.
I'm not bothering anyone. She said no, I respect it. I'm not talking to her.
Why are you so rude?
Because of you guys.
Go the fuck away.
Why are you getting so triggered?
All right, do I gotta call the cops?
Why are you getting triggered?
I gotta call the cops.
Why are you getting triggered? For what? What are you gonna call the cops for? Holy hell, you guys think cops are on your ass and they'll come for you? I don't like friends that come in the middle. And I said this on a previous video, but I'm gonna start calling them out. They're speaking English, so they're not from here. They're probably Canada or USA, guaranteed, right? I've never had that kind of reaction with women from here or Europe or wherever. All the bad reactions have been from American girls or Canadian girls. Because they're on TRT hormone therapy, I'm telling you. Did you notice? I approached and I complimented, no thanks was given. It was taken as a defensive approach. I was just being nice, just like how I am in my other videos.
So there's some people in the comments that are talking to him saying, oh, bro, I'm embarrassed for you, yada, 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 which I get that. I understand that. Hey, these women, however they're acting, they're not wanting to be talked to by you, they don't want you to approach them, just leave. Right? You don't want to end up embarrassing yourself and people saying, well, I'm embarrassed for you. But also at the same time, I do agree with his point. Why are you acting like that? He came to talk to the lady. Y'all don't have to step in front of her, but you also, I understand that you want to take care of her and you want to protect her, but you don't have to stand in front of her. She's grown. You can stand off to the side. You can stand behind her. Y'all can stand a little ways in the vicinity. Y'all can make a kind of like a half circle around her, all standing in the same place. So you don't need to leave her side. You just don't need to be standing in front of her like a weirdo. I don't know if that makes any sense. Stop doing that type of stuff. And then when he says, hey, I was trying to talk to her, let her speak. Y'all need to learn how to, communicate effectively. If y'all saying, well, I want a man that communicates effectively, and then you got your friend in front. And what kind of confuses me on another note is how a man would do the same thing for a woman. You see it in shows where he'll come up and he'll say, hey, stop doing that. And the woman will look up at him like, I don't need your protection. I can speak for myself. But here, I don't need your protection. I can speak for myself. Why are you not saying it to that girl that's standing in your way? That's standing in his way. Stop doing that stuff. That's weird. I mean, what he was doing, he could have left and gone and done what he was doing, but what you're doing is freaking weird.
Dating is hard as a single woman. It is awful. It's honestly worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah. What?
It was easier being single at 19 than it is as a 25-year-old.
That's crazy. Wait, why though?
I feel like guys used to have so much confidence and they'd approach you. Like, I don't know, when you're younger, it's just so much easier. I feel
haven't been rejected as much.
Yeah. And now I'll go out and I'm like, woo, I'm going to get some attention tonight. And no one speaks to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I the most hideous human in the world?
No. Me and Cass always speak about this though. Like, the bar is in hell. We've spoken about this a lot of times and it seems like it's an issue that's getting more and more traction. Like, it's not actually getting solved.
I do not want to see my man happy if it's not with me, ever. I'm sorry, like, maybe it's just me, but I've never been one of those girls to be like, yeah, I just want to see my man happy, even if it's not with me. Like, I love him so much that I want him to be happy, like, even if it's not with me. No, absolutely not. You cannot be happy. Your happiness depends on if you're with me or not. Sorry, death row. Like, you knew what it was when you met me though, like, and I don't feel bad about it. You cannot be happy unless you're with me. We're either happy together or you're not happy at all. Neither one of us gonna be happy. Then what? So yeah, that's just me though. But on another note, I need about like $300,000 to get him a Brabus by tomorrow. His birthday coming up. Like, I need to just get that man a Brabus. Like, but yeah, no. We're either happy together or you're never happy. That is a threat. Love you.
Would you rather $100 or a date with me? Should I use my invisibility for good or evil?
So every morning on my run, I pass the same guy. He's out walking his dog. Sometimes he's with his young son. Sometimes he's not. But every morning, I say, good morning. Hey, man, what's going on? And every morning, he ignores me. This morning, flat out ignores me. This morning, I guess I passed by his house. He's coming out of his front walk. I'm passing by. We're closer than we've ever been, like 5-6 feet apart. And I say, hey, man, good morning. Doesn't look at me, totally ignores me. Obviously, your boy has a problem with Miss Jade. I don't know why, but he does. But some of y'all are feeling the same way. You're out doing your thing. I'm out doing my run, right? And I want him to acknowledge me. And some of y'all are doing your thing and you want acknowledgement, man. I can't talk. You want acknowledgement from, I don't know, your parents. You're finally getting your life together and you want them to say something and they're not saying anything. You want to acknowledge at your job because you're working your butt off. Man, you're doing overtime hours. You're doing whatever it takes. They're not acknowledging you. Some of you, you want the government to acknowledge you. Man, you're paying your student loans. You've been paying staying through the whole pause. You want them to acknowledge you, maybe give you a little forgiveness, but it's not always like that. We have to do what we know is right to do and what we know is good to do simply for our own selves. We may never get the acknowledgement. We may never get somebody to go, hey, great job. I see you. You're doing great. Does that change the fact? Does that change what we know we should be getting up and doing every single morning? No, it does not. Keep doing your thing. You don't need acknowledgement from anybody except God.
Feminism may have started with good intentions. Women wanted equal opportunity. Understandable. But look at what it's turned into today. We have the rights we fought for. But what's the movement pushing now? Rebellion. Rebellion against order, rebellion against man, against God himself. And the sad part is most women don't even realize that they're operating from that same rebellious spirit. Competing, controlling, constantly in fight mode. This isn't contributing anything to our society. The enemy's goal was never to get women in the workplace or in the voting polls. It was to force them out of their design, away from their peace, away from their femininity. And it's tearing families apart, ruining relationships, and leaving women feeling depressed and alone. The end of a matter is better than its beginning. Forget how it started. It's about how it's finished. We have to start paving a new path. So the question you should be asking yourself is, are you living from the angry masculine energy that the world taught you to survive in? Or from your original feminine design? I made a quick free quiz to help you find out. Click the link in my bio for access.
So I had to do makeup today at literally 4 a.m. And I was talking about how every time I go out anywhere, I never get approached by a man, ever. Like, I never get hit on. Like, nobody's buying me drinks. It just doesn't happen for me. And it's weird. Like, I'm like, is there some energy I'm giving off? So the guy that I was doing, I did like skull makeup they were doing a run today. But he said, you have such strong energy and you are so confident. He was like, that's very intimidating to men. And I was like, so do y'all like weak women? Like, I can't turn it off and I'm never gonna. There's a movie where the girl says to the man that's wanting to marry her that you would try to tame me and you'd never be able to do it. So, oh well, I guess I'll never get anybody to approach me at anywhere or buy me drinks. Good thing I can buy my own drinks and I can buy myself flowers.
I don't know why these men keep on telling y'all that. Y'all just creating a fantasy in your head that you're walking around like you're Superwoman, and you're not. You're a regular woman that does some pretty great and extraordinary things, but you're a regular woman at the end of the day. And if you have your head in the cloud all the time, you wonder why you can't find a man or you can't get a man, because somebody didn't lie to you. And now you out here believing that you just intimidate men. And men say, oh, I see where she's coming from. I see what she's up to. She's on the BS.
Why 50-50 relationships are the best. It eliminates silent resentment because you both are contributing equally. Oh, and just a disclaimer. If one person pays all the bills and the other person does everything around the house, I still count that as 50-50. It's both people contributing equally to the relationship. 2, it forces both people to grow. When a woman contributes, she builds confidence instead of dependence. 3, it builds real compatibility, and no one feels used or taken advantage of. 4, it makes breakups less destructive, because typically you both know how to do things. You both know how to pay the electric bill, even if only one of you is paying it. Equal contribution means equal accountability. 5, protects men from burnout, because it's okay for women to scream at the top of their lungs what they want and need, but men aren't allowed to do the same thing. So men stop collapsing under all that pressure. 50-50 isn't about money, it's about balance, which a lot of relationships need these days.
I just seen a really hot guy out in the wild and I just was like, I didn't even say anything. I didn't even smile.
I finally reached an age where I'm ready to hear the reasoning. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready for the harsh reality. Why am I never approached by the white collar black men? It's always, if it's a black man, he's in the army or in the Navy. But I want a black man who works at a law firm, owns a law firm, or I don't know, is in medical school. Like, why am I only getting approached if it's a black man in these military fields? Like, I don't want to be a military spouse. No shade to the military spouses that follow me. That's just not what I want to do. Where are these, like engineers and
I am not the girl that ever gets approached by guys. Like in my friend group, my friends are the ones that get approached by guys. I used to take this so personally. It made me see myself as like unappealing to men. That really hit my self-confidence. Like I would even just start crying because I'd have enough of it, and I just thought I was like not attractive to the male gaze. Like what's helped me with this is really just understanding my worth in God and knowing that like when I get married, when I have a family, like I'm not going to think back and be like, man, I didn't get approached by guys when I was younger. You know what I mean? That is not something that contributes to our worth and shows who we are. And so if you can relate, if you are not a girl that gets approached by men in public, just don't take it personally. It's honestly maybe just God protecting us. That is how I've stopped taking it personally over the years and just have a more like eternal outlook, I guess.
Why do you think guys don't approach girls anymore?
No, I think it is the rejection factor of just not feeling like they have the confidence to do it, or maybe they just feel, it kind of seems a little lazy to me, to be honest. Like step up, be a man. It's attractive when men do that. So it's like, if you get shot down, okay, move on, try again.
Okay, what is your message for the guys out there kind of not getting the success they want on dating apps, but they want to approach? What do you have to tell them?
Always be kind.
Okay.
Don't be weird. Don't be freaking weird. But also just be kind. Like I think, like kindness goes so far, like on both sides. So I just think that if they're being kind and like, and approach a relationship with friendship as the basis. First.
Yes, a lot
like,
going on, unfortunately.
Like if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with this person, you want to be friends with them. Yeah.
My fiance and I are getting married next September, and I bought him what I thought was the most perfect holiday gift, and he hated it. And this has happened before. I think I have about a week to try to convince him to love it. But anyway, I want to show it to you guys because if we do have to exchange it, somebody else should get these. He is somebody who does not adorn himself. He doesn't wear a watch. He doesn't like any logos. He wants to just be very, very muted in terms of his sense of style. And so I've been so excited for him for our wedding to give him some cufflinks, because this is like the first and only jewelry type thing ever that I'm going to be able to get him to wear, because you need to wear cufflinks with your tux. I wanted to get him something special. I wanted to get him something that seemed like him and fitting to our venue, and I wanted to get him something that wasn't crazy, that he could like wear whenever he wears tux. And I found this store, The Missing Link, in New York City, that has all sorts of vintage cufflinks. I think it's like, I can't remember the stat, but like the only place that you can get vintage cufflinks in the city. And his primary business, the owner, is actually to sell them to movie sets, like TV shows like Mad Men, like vintage cufflink type places. And I found these gorgeous 14 karat gold with, it's like, I forget what the stone is called, but this like very, very light blue, almost whitish gray cufflink. We are getting married in the Hamptons next September. It's going to be on the water. It's going to be gorgeous with the venue. And I could not wait to show. They're from the 1940s. Very, very special. They have the matching shirt buttons to go with. I did so much research. I went to so many places. Vintage versus new. I conversed with his brother who loved these, I thought. Anyway, Sam opened these and said, "What about me makes you think that I would like these?" Anyway, I'm hoping he just needs a little bit of time. We're going to go back to the Missing Link on Saturday and shop around. If you want to throw in the comments that these are, in fact, a neutral and they're not super loud, or you can just be honest, he thinks they're girly, let me know. Thanks.
I feel like something about her talking just annoys me. Just maybe it's just the cluelessness. And you have women in the comments that are agreeing with the men. Why would you give him that? I mean, it's just the clueless. I don't want to say stupidity, but it's just the cluelessness. How modern women will get online and they'll shame men for what men got for them. But then they'll go out and get stuff for the man that they want to have. You're giving the man a gift that you want, not that he wants. How can you be so brain dead? How can you be so absent-minded to, number one, think that that's okay, and number two, get online talking about it to think it's okay? And that's what makes me think this type of stuff is satire, because there's no way in your right mind that you would think this.